Drive!
Would you please repeat the destination?
The Ethics of Self-Driving Cars, Total Recall Edition. Autonomous vehicles. They're here and they've been driving among us for quite some time. The days of only seeing these smart vehicles in films like Minority Report, Total Recall, Knight Rider, or Transformers is a thing of the past. But if they're already a reality, why haven't they been adopted on a widespread basis? Beyond needing the government to refigure over a century's worth of rules and regulation, AAA reports that 73% of Americans don't trust self-driving cars. Like the seldom-seen shark attack, when a driverless car crashes or is involved in an accident, it will often become a national news headline due to its rarity. These events often severely erode the acceptance of driverless cars. Safeguards for these accidents are being tested and implemented daily, but ultimately the number of acceptable accidents for most people is zero. If most of the population is against driverless cars, is it ethical to continue pursuing them? Let's deep dive into the topic through the lens of the classic sci-fi thriller Total Recall to find out. In the world of Total Recall, there exists Johnny Cabs, where cab drivers have been replaced by uncanny valley robots called Johnnies. Johnnies are designed to appear human-like and occupy the position where a human driver would normally sit. There is likely no practical reason for Johnny to exist beyond the bolstering of trust in the human occupants of the car. Recent high-profile collisions by Tesla and Uber have caused trust to fall significantly in the real world. In March of 2018, an Uber self-driving test vehicle struck and killed a 49-year-old woman. Evidence, however, can point the blame not on the concept of a self-driving car itself, but towards the corporate negligence and failings of Uber. Uber had reduced the number of humans necessary in the self-driving cars from 2 to 1. Unlike Google, whose cars required human intervention on average every 5,600 miles, Uber required human intervention 431 times more often at every 13 miles. Uber arguably placed its pursuit of progress over the lives of human beings. Flawed software by Uber is complemented by Tesla and Elon Musk's misrepresentation of vehicle capabilities. While we still consider Elon a visionary and a great hope for the occupation of Mars, we would be remiss to not call him on his deceptive claims. Tesla vehicles currently offer lane change assist, emergency braking, enhanced cruise control, and park assist, but Elon often presents them as being nearly fully autonomous, at least to the ears of an average person. Musk's premature promise of full autonomy in Tesla vehicles has actually caused several engineers to quit the company in protest. Tesla continues to send mixed messages about autopilot even after several deaths were recorded during 2018. Thus, worries of safety are both completely legitimate in the realm of self-driving cars. The way to reverse this reservation is through honest and open disclosure from companies. Raw data doesn't lie. It's no secret that human drivers get in numerous accidents and cause countless fatalities and casualties. 37,000 people died in vehicle-related incidents in 2016 alone. This equates to 1.18 deaths per 100 million miles traveled. Accident and crash statistics are compiled from numerous situations, states, and type of roads. Waymo, for example, mainly utilizes data from western states where weather is often sunny. Roads go in one direction and highways are multi-lane. The sample size for data on self-driving cars is not simply large enough or diverse enough to truly compare with human-driven error. Self-driving cars must be put through the ringer before they are ever accepted into general society. It's easy to assume that because human beings drink and drive, experience road rage, and often exercise poor judgment, they will automatically have higher collision and fatality rates. As much as we may believe driverless cars are safer than human drivers, the data may reveal the opposite. What humans lack in perfection, we make up for in spontaneity. Will the self-driving car choose to save the lives of 5 people if it means sacrificing 1? How will it make this choice, and whose ethical code will be responsible for this? Will private companies and programmers now be making life and death decisions? While trust is responsible for the consumer adoption of vehicles, on a corporate level, their adoption, support, and continued production is predicated on rules and regulations of the road being updated. When Congress finally does push a bill forward, they should demand a sensible safety regulation and plan for heavy scrutiny. There should be firm federal oversight of self-driving technology. Once regulation is squared away, widespread adoption of driverless cars will likely drive insurance costs down significantly, given that 94% of car accidents are a result of human error. Existing auto insurance laws will need to be revisited considerably as car crash liability transitions from human error to manufacturer responsibility. Lobbyists and politicians are likely salivating at the thought of taking insurance industry cash to prevent this shift in liability. And as the number of collisions and fatalities decrease, so too will risk premiums. KPMG speculated that insurance costs could be 40% of their current costs in the next 25 years. Why will insurance rates fail? Ultimately, it's because technology is much less fallible and more precise than humans. Over 10 million autonomous vehicles are expected on the road by 2020 alone. Not only will people be safer, but not needing to focus on the road will also afford individuals more time to nap, work, and enjoy themselves. Also, playing Pokemon Go will be 1,000 times easier. Traffic flow will be improved and fuel consumption lessened due to the increased efficiency. Human drivers naturally create stop-and-go traffic due to potentially selfish lane changes, merges, and lack of attention. If the self-driving cars are networked together and function as a swarm, their efficiency will be significantly more evident than if cars acted independently. If all cars were operated by Google, for example, then they could also work together to produce safety. Granting this level of monopoly, however, is lofty enough to deserve an ethics video of its own. Not only will insurance costs be driven down and efficiency increased, but the volume of traffic stops and needed police enforcements will decrease significantly. Speeding tickets account for $6 billion in annual fines per year alone. 42% of all civilian and police interaction occurs through traffic stops, as a whopping 8.7 million drivers are searched each year. Police oppression will be dealt a major blow. So, are self-driving cars ethical? We say yes. Rather than being death traps, self-driving cars will drive down major costs in the economy, increase the average lifespan of people around the world, and provide an overall safer environment. But while we're in full support of the eventual adoption of self-driving cars, companies must also be held accountable for their actions. For Johnny Cabs to become a reality, companies such as Uber and Tesla must ethically handle their rollout and development while taking considerable care to the safety of individual people and not the safety of the stock price. Transparency and public disclosure are tantamount. In addition to corporate accountability, hard data must be presented to the public and used as evidence of why they should trust Bumblebee instead of Sam Witwicky as a driver. Remember kids, safety first. So, what do you think? Will self-driving cars hurt or help society? How should we handle their rollout and adoption? Make sure to comment if you agree, click subscribe, and we'll see you later.